My wife wanted to be just friends after her girls' trip. She went crazy when I said, "I agree. I'll move out Monday." I still remember the moment Lauren came back from her girls' trip. She walked into the house with that same casual smile she always wore. But something about her eyes told me she wasn't the same woman I kissed goodbye a week earlier. She was quieter, distracted, almost rehearsed in her movements. I thought maybe she was just tired, so I tried not to overthink it. But the next evening, as we sat at the dinner table, she pushed her plate away and cleared her throat. "Nathan," she began, avoiding my eyes, "I think we should just be friends." First I laughed. I genuinely thought it was some kind of joke. "Friends? What are you talking about? You're my wife." Lips trembled for a second before she forced a little shrug. "That's exactly the problem. I don't feel like your wife anymore. I think I just need something different. Something lighter." I felt my entire chest collapsing on itself. This was the same woman I had built a home with. The same woman who once cried happy tears when I promised her forever. And now she wanted to downgrade our marriage into friendship. I asked her directly, "Is there someone else?" She flinched. And though she quickly shook her head, I'd already seen the truth flash across her face. She didn't need to say it. The following days were torture. Lauren acted like she had done nothing wrong. Like her little friend's speech was simply a mature way to end things. She started humming while cooking, scrolling on her phone late into the night, giggling at messages she wouldn't let me see. It was like I had been replaced in my own house by a stranger who still wore my wife's face. And the worst part, she expected me to roll over and accept it. She wanted me to smile politely, agree to her new arrangement, and just keep existing in the background while she explored her different, lighter life. Deep inside, I was already forming my answer. One she would never see coming. The next week became a cruel performance. Lauren floated around the house like she was free for the first time in years, while I was left piecing together the broken edges of my own heart. She started dressing differently. Tighter dresses, bolder makeup, little touches she hadn't bothered with in months. When I asked where she was going, she would simply say, "Out with friends." But those friends never called our landline. They never showed up at the door. Instead, she was always slipping her phone into her pocket the second I entered the room, her eyes darting like a guilty teenager. One night, I finally caught a glimpse. She had left her phone on the counter while she showered. The screen lit up with a message from someone saved as Ethan. Work. Words burned into my brain. Last night was unforgettable. Can't wait for round 2. My hands shook as I put the phone back, pretending I hadn't seen it. In that moment, her "let's just be friends" speech finally made sense. It wasn't about needing space. It was about clearing her conscience, mastering me as the bad guy, for not agreeing, so she could run into someone else's arms guilt-free. But here's what she didn't know. While she was planning her escape, I was quietly preparing mine. I started moving money from our joint account into one she didn't know existed. I met with a lawyer friend over coffee and explained everything. Her words, her actions, the messages. He told me exactly what I needed to do if I wanted to walk away not just free, but with the upper hand. Meanwhile, I played my role perfectly. I smiled when she walked in late. I nodded when she claimed she was with the girls. I even told her once, "Maybe you're right, maybe we should just be friends." And for the first time in weeks, I saw her relax, thinking she had me right where she wanted. I wasn't broken. I was waiting for the right moment to show her that while she thought she was rewriting the rules of our marriage, I was the one rewriting the ending. The night of my reveal came sooner than even I expected. Lauren walked in past midnight, her perfume heavy, her hair messy in a way I recognized but hadn't been the cause of in months. She didn't bother explaining where she'd been. She just smirked, tossed her heels by the door, and said, "Don't wait up next time, Nathan. We're just friends now, remember?" I nodded calmly, as if her words didn't cut me to pieces. Then I stood, reached for the envelope I'd been hiding in the drawer, and placed it on the table between us. "What's this?" she asked, frowning. "Your freedom," I replied. Inside was a neatly prepared stack of divorce papers, already signed on my end, along with evidence. Screenshots of her messages with Ethan, bank records of her secret hotel bookings in Boise, Idaho. Even pictures a private investigator had collected. I had documented everything. Her face went pale as she flipped through the pages. You went behind my back. I laughed bitterly. Behind your back. Lauren, you shattered our marriage behind mine. I just decided to stop playing the fool. She stammered, her voice cracking. Nathan, wait, that's not what it looks like. Ethan means nothing. I felt lonely. And after the trip, save it. I cut her off. You wanted to be friends. Fine. Friends don't share beds. Friends don't share vows. And friends don't build futures together. You lost the right to call yourself my wife the moment you chose someone else. For the first time, I saw panic in her eyes. She reached across the table, her hands trembling. Please, Nathan, don't do this. We can fix it. I was stupid. I didn't mean it. But it was too late. I had already taken back control of my life. I'm done, Lauren. You wanted out and now you have it. The only difference is you don't get to walk away with everything. The house, the accounts, even the car. You traded those for your little adventure. Hope it was worth it. Her scream echoed through the room, a mix of rage and regret. And as I walked out that night, I realized something powerful. Sometimes the best revenge isn't shouting, fighting, or begging. It's smiling as you close the door and letting the person who betrayed you drown in the mess they created. And that's exactly what I did.